Testing, testing, one, two, three. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Okay, yeah. Hello, hello. Testing, testing, one, two, three. 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 Hey, best friend, sister, girlfriend, it's your girlfriend next door, Andrea. You guys, I am, look, I have tried to pull out all the stops. Look, I am on travel, holiday, however you want to say it. Um, but I have Goldie here. Now, you guys, I am, for those who follow me on YouTube, I am trying to record this. I have some new equipment that I brought with me, very light equipment, so I just wanted to see how this works. Because normally it's just Goldie and I and the computer. And as I told you guys before, I'm going to start, our PJs and champagne conversations very soon. I'm so excited about that. But until that time, you hold on. Let me just say, do you guys see Goldie? Because she want her time. You see Goldie? I had to put that up for the camera, so I'm gonna put Goldie right here on the computer. I think that works better, and you can hear me better. But I wanted to come in here and have a quick chat with you guys about solocations. And one of the things that, first of all, let me define what I could consider a solo location is usually I do this for myself annually, and I used to pick the same exact place, the same hotel. I felt safe there. I loved the ambiance. I loved, it was on the water. It was very quick to get there. It gave me my life, you guys. But it was my me time. It was when, you know, I could go to dinner, take a spa break, do all the stuff that I like to do without having to worry about, just worrying about someone else. Like, sometimes you just really need to be selfish. And I wanted to talk to you guys about this because every time that I would mention this to people or to girlfriends or females about, do you take a solo vacation? They're like, I don't want to travel by myself. I barely even want to go to eat by myself. And so I began to think about that, and it was very interesting to me why I had asked myself, why am I so comfortable doing all these things alone? And we always have to go back. Let me put my coaching hat on. We always have to go back to our childhood, right? Our memories of when we were younger and things like that to figure out where exactly these things stem from. Now, I've expressed to you guys before that I am an only child, So clearly, I spend a lot of time with myself. I'm comfortable doing it because I actually had no choice. But away from that, I had a discussion with my husband. I said, I want to know what it is about me that I love doing this. And one of the things that I figured out is I genuinely love myself. I genuinely love Andrea. And so for me, I just I just, I love my own company. And because I love my own company, like maybe, call me crazy, but I can do some mean people watching, child. By my damn self, okay? I can do some mean people watching. I genuinely love people. So, I do turn my personality up just a tad, extra friendly because I do realize I'm by myself. So I try to maneuver in a way that people feel the warmness from me. So then I would receive that back, and I'm by myself, so I have conversations with strangers, which is fine. I love meeting people from all over the world, and it's just like a very interesting way to think about travel. So let me just share with you right now. I'm in this place called Mérida, Mexico. I have been doing some research about safe places, outside of the U.S. I don't know if I shared it with you guys, but I really, really, really want to move out of the U.S. So I'm always seeking a place. So when the opportunity came for me to come to Mérida, I jumped at the chance. I said, look, I'm there. So I booked the ticket and I came down here to see what it was about. And I did some things, honestly, outside of my comfort zone. I had gone and done a lot of research online, looked at I feel like a million YouTube videos, but I came across this young man, and also Facebook groups. Let me say that too. I came across this young man on YouTube, and I don't know, I just felt his energy from his videos, and he didn't have a lot of videos. He had recently moved from Mérida. I mean, I'm sorry, he had recently moved from North Carolina to Mérida, and I just he was, seemed like he was young in his 20s, and I was just fascinated with his story. Like, oh my gosh, you're in your 20s, you're doing this stuff. He said he sold real estate, so even though I had joined some Facebook groups, I was just like, I don't know if I feel like, putting messages out in public. So I DM'd him with the hopes of him saying something back to me, which he actually did. I asked him, is it possible for me to ask you a few questions about the city, how you like it, how do you maneuver, what is it like, you coming from, he's from North Carolina, so him coming from North Carolina, I felt like, okay, he's a southern guy, I'm a southern girl, there had to be a connection, right? Anyway, he was very nice and he answered my questions. I mean, I even went as far, you guys, to say, hey, you want to meet up for a drink or get coffee or anything like that. It didn't necessarily happen, but I put the energy out there. Now, just because it didn't happen this time doesn't mean it won't happen in the future. Okay? Because if I come down to Mérida, I got to connect with some people. Anyway, but I just wanted to say, like, when it comes to Solocations, it is just so interesting the different things like I've experienced. Let me just say here, I went to this restaurant and okay guys, when I travel, I use my middle name. I actually want to go by my middle name because I just like it. It's Victoria. Um, and did you hear that little diction? Did you hear that? Did you hear that when I said it's Victoria? Like, girl, get your life. What is as my mama would say, Vicky? It's Vicky. No, no, it's Victoria, but I don't know why that little click came, and it was like it's Victoria. But anyway, so I had gone to a restaurant, told the lady my name. She was like, Victoria, whatever. So the food was so good that I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I have some on my teeth, you guys. I actually just left the restaurant and I forced myself to do this video tonight. I'm sorry, this podcast, which I am also videoing, and it could be a little piece of pepper. I just feel a little something. Just bear with me, people. Bear with me. I keeps it real over here. So anyway, I had gone for the second time, and when I approached the lady, the hostess, she was like, "Victoria, right?" I said, "Yes, it is Victoria." I was like, "Oh my God, I must have made a solid impression for her to actually remember my name." And then Abraham, which was my waiter from the previous time that I was there, Abraham was like, "Hey," he came. I just love when people do stuff like that. Abraham and I was talking. We actually had a really good time. He was telling me how he used to work in Canada, and that's how he has very good English, and he loved making the money in Canada and stuff like that. But we all agreed, for every person that I've met that lived outside of this area, whether they were in the U.S. or Canada, I mean, your home is your home. But they all said it was like, this place feels so safe. Like, you guys, Mérida is rated one of the safest cities in North America. Like, and I think when it comes to safest cities in the world, it has a pretty high ranking, and that was one of the reasons I had such an interest in this place, and also why I felt okay to do my solocation here. So, let me just tell you a bit about what I've done. They have about, I'm actually in the city of Merida, so if you look this up, the nicer part, just like I'm from Atlanta, so I always base everything off from that. But the nicest part is going to be in the northern part of the city. There's a huge expat community here, Canadians, Americans. Of course, I'm African American, so I looked up how many African Americans were here, and there is a Facebook group that's called Brothers and Sisters of Merida. I joined the group, so there's like a network here for everyone, and for my people who are part of the HB. Oh, let me get. I was about to say the HBCU. Mm-mm. Get your girl together. Get your girl together. Did you hear me? I said the HBCU. Help me, Lord. That is not what I meant. You know the H. The people who are part of the community, which those who know me, I call them the family, because there's too many letters for me to remember at this point. Because I did have two cocktails, so I'm just gonna blame it on that. But if you are in the family, I've also been told there's a pretty large community here as well. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to say anything inappropriate. Oh, help me, Lord. But also, one of the biggest draws, I think, for me to come into Merida and having a solo location here was it has everything that you are accustomed to at home. I mean, even though I have not used them, but like if I needed to go to Costco, my Costco card works, girl. My Costco card works over here, even over here in Merida. And if you have a Sam's Club card, they have a Sam's Club. They have a Walmart. Now they don't have a Target because I don't really do Walmart like that, but they don't have a Target. But I will say, like restaurants, if you just really craving things that you're used to at home, you can definitely get everything from Starbucks to child. They even have everything down to elite Little Caesars pizza. And if you have children, I even saw Kumon. I was like, oh, Kumon, that's the learning center. I'm so silly. But anyway, it's just been such a great adventure. And every time I try to do something on Solocation, I try to do something that's a little bit out of the box for me. Something always happens though. It's just so weird. It's just like something always happens. I was walking in the hotel, hotel yesterday, and just going about my business. I have these cute sandals, but guys, they are so hard to walk in. They're like flip flops, but the strap is at like very close to the beginning of your toe, so you really have to work your toes to keep the shoe on. So as I was walking, all of a sudden I felt something like sticking in my foot. I said, "Ooh, what is that?" So I stopped for a second, and next thing I saw, like a piece of glass had stuck in my foot. So I wasn't thinking anything about it. I just pulled it out. I saw like a big planter nearby, and I didn't want anyone else. I didn't see a trash can, so I just threw it in the planter. I mean, who's gonna get stuck in a planter? Who puts their fingers or anything in there, right? I walked 2 steps. One, two, one, two, okay? Next thing you know, I'm squirting blood everywhere. I said, "Help, Jesus, help." I'm like, "Somebody, please help me." So the man, he looking at me and panic. He was like, "Ma'am, are you okay?" I said, "No, I stepped on a piece of glass and I thought I was okay, but now I'm like bleeding. Can you help me?" And they looking like they were so nervous. You know, here I am, the American. "Oh, are you okay?" Because they probably thinking, "Lord, this woman, she's thinking lawsuit." I was like, "No, just get where's your first aid kit? Let's," but you know, where's first aid kit? So the guy was so nervous. He had like this, I've never seen this before. Maybe you guys had. It was like this antiseptic ointment and stuff, and it was purple like ink. He started like rubbing it on my foot, and I'm thinking, "Sir, I don't think you're supposed to take out the what is it? It was like a thing that you wipe on a sore or something like that. But I don't think you're supposed to do it that way. I think you, for foreign people, because it's a public place, you should have like a cotton ball or." He just wasn't thinking, and I didn't want because I didn't want to scare them. I said, "Do what you do, boo. Hopefully you can get a new bottle." But they tried to take care of me. They came and cleaned up. You know, I'm bleeding all over the carpet. I felt so bad. But after that, child, that took the wind out of me. I came back in my room and I was knocked out. Do you hear me? Knocked out. So, but that wasn't the top of the adventure. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what the top was, and I have video proof of this. So, remember I told you just a second ago about Abraham. Abraham, that thing is still bothering me. Abraham works at Taya, and I said, "Abraham, I said, I would like for you to recommend, what to eat. What's your best entree, what's your best appetizer, and what's your best cocktail." So he said, "Ooh, I got you. I got you. I got you, Victoria." Okay. So Abraham brings me this it was a beautiful presentation of a drink. It was in this crystal glass. It had this dehydrated lemon on top. It was just like a really pretty presentation. And on the side, it was like, because I told him I don't really like salt, but I like a little spice, right? So on the side, it was like granulated something. I didn't know what it was, but he told me you lick it first and then you drink. And it also had like mezcal. I hope I'm saying it, mezcal, which is like a smoky taste tequila, I guess. And so I'm licking and I drink and I said, "Oh, this is so delicious. This is so delicious. Thank you, Abraham. Thank you, Abraham." And he was like, "You're welcome." I said, "But Abraham, what is this on the side? What spice is this?" This is exactly how I was saying it. "What spice is this on the side?" And he said, "Spice." He said, "I show you." So I was like, "Okay, no problem." So no, 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 I'm telling that wrong. He started speaking Spanish, but I didn't understand what he was saying. Like I'm like, "I don't understand what you're saying." Like, and he was using his fingers like something was crawling. So I was like, "Abraham, what are you talking about?" So finally, I figured out he said ant. So I'm thinking ant, okay, whatever. And I was like, "This is an ant, child." You hit, hold up, y'all. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Wait a minute. This man, Mr. Abraham, goes over to the bar. Y'all, I have the evidence to prove this. He brings back on this plate about 4 or 5 ants. and this worm. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. The worm looked like a mini penis. The worm looked like a little shrinked up mini penis. I said, what, Abraham? What is this? He said, that's what's on the side of the glass. I said, what? I said, say what? I said, say what? He said, yes, that's what's on the side of the glass. I said, Abraham, you got me over here eating ants and worms. And he thought that was just so funny. So then he wants to challenge me. He said, let's eat an ant together. I look at Abraham. I said, Abraham, because I'm on my solocation, and because I only live once, I told myself in life I will try most things, not all. I will try most things at least one time. Abraham picks up the. Oh, let me also tell you, these are not regular ants, not like the ants at home. These ants look like two balls connected, like they got a tail and a big head, like two big balls connected together. I don't know what are they. I hate to say this, they look like they African ants, like big ants. I'm gonna be honest with you. It look like two titties and a string in the middle for their bodies to connect. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. At least my everybody ain't got titties like you want your hair. Well, it look like my two breasts, and a little body in the middle connecting the two. Okay, so I'm saying all that to say the ants were huge. Okay, the ants were huge, but they were also dehydrated. So Abraham convinced me to do the ants. Okay, so I was like, okay, what is my strategy? I was so nervous. So I said, okay, Abraham, I got it. So I pick the smallest ant I could possibly get in the bowl. I put the ant in my mouth, y'all. That when I don't know how other people do this. See, I can't chew. So I felt the texture and I was like, oh Jesus. I felt the texture and I said, oh Lord. I said, oh God. I said, okay. And then I said, Abraham, okay, I got it. Then I took that drink, honey, and I just took it back. I said, Abraham, I had to swallow that like I swallow a pill. Oh, Andrea, don't have a thought like that. You are talking to your people. See, your girlfriends already know which way your brain was going. Leave that alone because we tried to keep this PG-13. So for those who have imagination, you already know what I was talking about. But let's keep it moving. So then he says, what about the worm? Now, y'all, I'm looking at the worm. And like I said, it looks like a little baby shrunken penis. It looked like Richard actually knew the proper name for it. I forgot what the name. It's not a worm. It's like it's huge, y'all. But I looked at it. I couldn't do it. I just said, I'm sorry, Abraham. I can't do the worm. If you want to do the worm, you can do the worm. I cannot do the worm. So that was part of my my adventure. Okay. But like I said, I only live once. Okay, let's fast forward this thing to the Solocation. And you guys, just so you know, if you travel outside of the U.S. is requiring most countries to get back home to have a negative COVID test to get back in the country, right? Which is a great thing. I think we should have been doing that since last year. That probably would have helped our numbers. But no one told me that, like, cause say for instance you go somewhere for the weekend, you literally have to get the test as soon as you get somewhere because you may not have enough time. And so that's kind of like what happened to me. I've been here since Thursday, and I woke up and I was like, oh, I need to check into my flight, and I said, well, I'm checking in, and as I'm going through the process, they was like, well, do you have your negative test? I started panicking, like what? So I'm like rushing and putting on clothes, trying to get downstairs so I can see if the concierge or the front desk person can help me. And I'm explaining, and he was like, "Oh, we'll have someone come to the hotel and give you the COVID test. I'm like, oh yes, thank you so much. What a lifesaver. Girl, in my dream, they was like, oh, I am so sorry. I just called, but they do it every day but Sunday. There's no one available. So the guy was so generous. He was calling like every clinic in the city because the only place that he could think of was like 50 minutes away. And I was like, 50 minutes? That's a long, that's 2 hours of my time. So he finally found a hospital that was about 15 minutes away. And I took an Uber over there, and which I wish I would have known, but this is part. See, this is what makes certain things fun. It was supposed to be a drive-through COVID testing, but I took Uber and I let my Uber go because I didn't realize it was a drive-through testing. So the physician who spoke English came out to me and was like, "You just go walk through. You go over there. You go walk through. And if they have any problems, just let me know. I'm gonna call them and tell them, you're gonna walk through." I'm thinking, oh my god. So I walk through. They give me the test, and they go they go a little further than the U.S. U.S. be like, oh, just go right here, and now they was like up in there. But they said, you'll have your results back within 4 hours. I didn't even get back to the hotel, so they had sent me my results within like 10 minutes. And thank God I'm negative. I've always wanted to be grateful for that. But I just thought it was so funny. So I'm just just walking through the poor little drive-through cars coming. I'm just like, oh Lord, whatever. So I get the Uber, come back to the hotel. By this time, I'm starving. I go and get something to eat. Then I meet Roberto. Hey, Roberto. Hi, Roberto. Now, all these guys or whatever have spent so much time in Canada. So Roberto, he started talking to me. So then Roberto was like, hey, let me give you my phone number. Here's my card and my phone number. So if you ever need anything, you could just give me a ring. Okay, Roberto. Okay. Okay. Now, Roberta, when I call you and I say, look, I need a little something, I'm just kidding. But it was so nice of him to offer any help, any recommendations. And I've just really, 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 really enjoyed this Solocation. I went to the beach twice. I have ventured out in the city. And I just have really had some me time. And to be honest with you guys, sometimes when I do this, you know, I know it's a lot to explore, but you just kind of need a day where you could just be like, I want room service, I want a spa. Well, right now, spa is not open. Oh, at least over here, because I go to the spa at home. But whatever you like to do, like me, I found me something on the good Netflix, the good Amazon Prime, and I just really, you get the room with the good fluffy pillows, right? The good pretty room with the good fluffy pillows, and you just relax. I search things on the internet. I drift off to sleep. I wake back up. I go get something to eat. I walk around, catch a cocktail. There was a concert outside. I went to a concert twice. So, I mean, as you can see, or if you can hear the projections in my voice, I really think having a solocation at least once a year does the body good, girl. Does the body good. So if you want any advice from me, not that you're asking, but for your mental health, and just so you can take some time to just focus on you, leave everything behind sometimes. You know, I hate to use the word divorce, but temporarily divorce and separate yourself from all of the trash at home. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Go off and venture out and just do you. Like, so many times, especially for women, we're so focused on constantly doing and doing and doing for others, you really have to concentrate and focus on you sometimes. You know, whether it's your family members, your kids, your mother, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, you sometimes just simply have to be selfish. And I even don't even like that word because it's not really being selfish. It's you taking some, it's like a mental health break. Taking some time for you to do the things that you love. If you like going antiquing, if you like going just to sit at a coffee shop and read one of your favorite books, like, you need that for yourself. And you don't need it for 2 hours on the weekend. No, you need to stop and carve out 3, 4, 5 days a week, however long you can do it. Do it, girl, do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, I felt like my mouth was a little juicy right there. Okay. Alright. So, like I said, I didn't want to make this long. Hopefully I can make this under 30 minutes. But you know our favorite song. No, before I play our song, somebody promise me that you're actually going to do a solocation for yourself. It is 2021. Ladies, hey, we got to do it for ourselves, okay? Do it for ourselves. Remember that little girl who said, oh, she didn't do it for the gram. Do it for the, do it for, do it for the, do it, do it for yourself. Hey, do it for yourself. Hey, do it for yourself. Hey. I don't know. I had this picture on. Oh, that's what it used to be on Vine. That little girl was on Vine. I think she used to say, "Do it for the gram. Do it for the gram." But I'm saying, do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. Hey, I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Let me get off this line. I will see you next time. And as usual, I love you, best friend, sister, girlfriend. And I will play our song because you know I don't want to sing it. Hey, best friend. Hey, it's your girlfriend next door and your friendship coach. Yeah, come on. I love my song. I love it. You know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna get the extended version of the song. Don't know what I'm quite gonna do with it, but I just want to get the extended version so I can take it in just a little bit more. Take it in just a little bit more. Okay, this is Andrea, your girlfriend next door and your friendship coach, signing out. I love you, girl. Bye. Hey, it's your girlfriend next door and your friendship coach. I feel like, I feel like a woman. We be doing all this stuff, doing all this stuff. Wait, we gotta get her off of here. I want to do this. I want to do this. Yay! Alright, guys. You see I'm raw, no makeup. I love you. Bye.